In this video, and I might have to do it over 2 videos, I'm going to show how you can use Digitiser Pro to split a design that is too large for your 5x7 or 8x8 hoops. At the moment I've got an embroidery library design open, and my B hoop 140mm by 200mm, and I use the MC10000 sewing embroidery machine. So I'm going to switch my hoop on, so as you can see there is the design. I haven't a hope of stitching that in one hooping, or of doing it in a giga hoop, which even though I did own one, I no longer do because I didn't find them very useful. So how can I split this design? Well, I'm very fortunate in that Digitiser Pro version 3 will do it for me, and I can tell it combine. As soon as I hit that icon up there, combine mode, my design goes black, but there are areas which have gone green. Now at the moment, because I've only one hoop selected, I can't move it. To be able to move my hoop, I have to make another hoop, and I do that by clicking on that symbol next to the combine mode. Now I can move my hoops around. That's 1, that's 2. Now the whole thing about this is I want to make that whole design turn green. I've still got a little bit of black up there, and I've got all this black, which is telling me that I've got colours which it really needs another hoop for. So I bring in another hoop, and one thing I can do is I can actually change the orientation of that hoop, hover over one of the little blank handles that's now on it, and twist that around. I can rotate it. Then I can move it. I'm going to move it down there to trap the wolf's head. I'm going to bring another one in, and I do actually prefer to do this with as few. That's the wrong one that I've clicked. What I want is this one. I click into that one again, and I'm going to rotate this one, or maybe I'll only partially rotate it, and move that into position. Now, it's not giving me enough coverage, so I'll move it around again, and put it over that centre area, and that's made the whole of that green. If I try to calculate hoopings with my hoops that they are right at this second, let me show you what will happen. Calculate hoopings is this icon on the top. No, on yours it'll be down here. I've customized my screen to suit me. So you're looking for these little hoopings with a question mark, and it does take time to work it out. Now it tells me the current layout of hoop positions will result in 36 hoopings. Some objects in the design are not covered by hoops. Okay, so I get rid of that. Now I'm going to move this one up, which gives me an empty centre again. So maybe I don't want to rotate that one, and I'll twist it, and I'll move it down into position. And where's this one? You get a different colour for each hoop. That one, twist him, bring him back up straight, which is giving me more black areas, because obviously there's something in here which is needed up here as well. So where can I move some of my hoops? This one I can move in a bit closer. Don't know about this one. I think that might uncover the bear's head. No, it didn't. But it did cover up my eagle, but it still left me a bald patch in the middle. So I need to fetch another hoop. And now that last hoop has turned the whole design, as far as I can see, green. So I tell it calculate hooping again. Down here on the bottom of my screen at the left is a little blue bar going along, working out how many hoopings I need. The current layout of hoop positions will result in 10 hoopings. All objects are covered by hoops. Okay, that's wonderful. So I go to File, Print Preview, and Options, Design Mode, Embroidery Elements, Stitches. I don't need start and end crosshairs. I don't even want the connectors. What I do want is the cloth setter area, and I tell that OK. Now it's going to rework out my template. There's a cloth setter mark with 2 numbers. Okay, next page, cloth setter mark with 2 numbers, cloth setter mark with, I think that's 2 numbers, another cloth setter mark with 3 numbers, another cloth setter mark and a number. Now I can ask to see that on 2 pages. There we go. I print these out. I then join them so that these squares up here actually make squares, make the crosses. That gives me the correct positioning. Got my cloth setter marks. So I'm going to close this, come back to this one and tell it File, Save As, and save it in a place where I want it. And I want it Volume E, my Genome folder. Animal Shield Jeff. Don't save it as a Jan. Save. It's still saving. It's got a colossal amount of work to do. It's working out the new sequencing of threads and stitching. Give me the absolute best results possible. There we go, that's done. Now I come out of combine mode. There are my hoops that I created in the combine mode, and I'm going to close this screen now. No, I don't want to save the changes to that, thank you very much. I'm going to go to Open and bring these in one at a time. Animal Shield, Open. That's my first hooping. I go to File and I go to Print Preview, Animal Shield 1. You use this if you've got the cloth setter, and believe me, the cloth setter is really handy. This is hooping number 1, and this is what it will put on your fabric for you. So I'm going to close that. Then I ask it for Animal Shield 2, Open. And I'm going to go to File, Print Preview, Animal Shield 2. There's only one hooping on this, and you follow the sequence of the colours. There's 2 little white bits here. Don't be tempted to remove them. I'm going to close that one. Open, Animal Shield 3. It doesn't look as though there's much on this one. Don't think you can miss this step out. File, Print Preview, and you print all these out because they help you, and you use your cloth setter mark. You place your fabric with the elements you've already stitched, and you line up according to your cloth setter marks. I tell that close. Animal Shield 4, that doesn't look as though there's anything on that. Open, not an awful lot, and you tell that one Print Preview. There it is. Don't change it. It may all seem like a huge fuss, but believe you me, when you finish stitching, your design is going to look fantastic. It will look as though it's been stitched in a huge design. So let's go and look at the Animal Shield 10. Open. And we'll look at File Preview for that. And there it is. So we close this. I go back to our original design, but I don't think I've got it open still, have I? So let's open up Animal Shield. I've got to go and look for it again. Embroidery Library, and it's in North America under Animals, and it's in here. Animal Shield. And we've taken a design which is much too big for the 5x7 hoop, and we've split it so as it can be stitched on your machine using the B hoop. And as long as you use the cloth setter marks to line up your design, you don't have to have a cloth setter, but you do have to follow the order in which it's done. It will stitch out perfectly for you every single time.